Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. And if you don't know already, I am James Manley, the founder of AutomateClients.io. We essentially help high ticket business owners, so agency owners, coaches, consultants, anyone that sells a high ticket service online, and we help automate their client acquisition. So we build the thing that generates the qualified calls, and then we help you by placing a sales team into the back end of your business, therefore removing you from the entire process. We have about 150 active members right now in our community of who we are helping from done with you to done for you and everything in between. And we want to basically be able to help as many people as possible, because I know a lot of you are spending your time posting on social media, sending DMs, doing cold email, cold calling. I don't do any of that because I've been there. I did that for 3 years and absolutely hated every second of it. So I've built a system that is automated and allows me to spend my time working on the business instead of inside the business. Now, one of the biggest levers that I have pulled since scaling my business is actually hiring a sales team, but more importantly, hiring a sales team that understood how to handle objections. Now, if you are closing less than 30 to 50% of all your sales calls, then the good chance is you aren't handling objections very well, because no one wants to actually give you money, right? It's not a comfortable thing to do unless they are pre-sold and they already know and like you. Maybe they're a referral. But if you have someone that doesn't know you very well, they're going to have objections naturally, and they might not be as entrusting in the moment and be more reluctant or fearful to actually make a decision on that call. So what we're going to do is be walking through our top 3 simple objection handling techniques that have been able to take our sales team from closing about 15% of qualified calls all the way to doubling that to 30% on average over the last 4 months. Okay, just some proof here. In the last 4 months, we booked 1,766 sales calls. This is from High Rose, if you know what that is. And it's basically a tracking software, so we can track all of the calls coming in, where they're coming from, and what channels are getting us the result. So in the last 4 months, we booked that many, about 440 per month. Now, 85% of the people that book a call don't actually get a pitch, because we're very, very decisive on who we work with and who we do not work with, right? Our service is premium, so we don't actually just want to work with anyone and everyone. We want to make sure 100% that we believe we can actually get them from point A to point B, because we do have a really good system where our clients pay per close. So the success is paramount. It's profit first for our clients, essentially. So 85% of those leads get DQ'd from our main offer, and we typically pitch about 60 people a month with an average close rate of 30%. Okay, so I'm going to show you how you can make sure that you actually are able to close at least 30% of your sales calls with these 3 simple objection handling techniques. Now, for context, the first 1,500, 2,000 sales calls I ever took, I had no idea how to handle objection. Now, you may think you know, but I promise you, you probably don't know, especially if you're watching this video. So if you're someone that is already closing 30 to 50% of your qualified calls and you don't need to improve that side of your business, there's no point you watching it. But if you're booking calls and you're left thinking, why the hell are these people not paying me? This is probably the reason. Okay, so let's go into the first one. First one, and I'm sure every single person watching this video, if you've had 1 sales call or 1,000, you've probably heard this one before, where somebody says, I need to think about this. I need to, can you send this to me in an email? Can you send me a follow-up or book a call for a follow-up? I need to take a day with my wife and talk about whatever the thing is I need to think about. You just need to acknowledge that, right? So look, that's no problem at all. Before we go and do all of that, can I just ask, in your own opinion, do you believe that what we do can actually get you to your North Star? Or how do you? So your North Star being their goal. So if they're at 10K a month and get to 100K a month, 100K a month will be their North Star. And you should already know this before you get to objection handling, but that's for another separate video, right? So if yes, you need to immediately ask, why though? What specifically is going to help you the most? And then if they don't seem completely certain, you can tell them, look, you don't seem so certain on this. Is there something in there that you feel won't help you get to your North Star? Or what do you think? And they'll typically back off and say, no, I like how the system works. It's just 1, 2, 3, right? So this allows us to tell whether the prospect has certainty about the process or if there is something we need to clarify. And it also gives us permission to actually do objection handling, because they've told us this will get them to where they want to go. Also, if we don't get the commitment, we'll never have enough leverage to actually get the close and help them overcome anything that's going on, right? So if they actually feel 100% certain in a product, we know it is just a matter of handling their objection, right? So you can then come back and say, look, okay, so if you feel like this absolutely can get you to where you want to go, what's coming up for you that makes you want to take some time and do 1, 2, 3, instead of making the decision to start achieving your goal of 100K a month, right? And this is very critical for us to begin to smoke out what is going on underneath for a prospect that they don't want to vocalize. We're trying to get clear on whether it's money, fear, or logistic, okay? Because if we can narrow it down and put it into either money, fear, or logistics, we can then actually handle the true objection that they have. Because I need to think about it, And all of that in between is a smokescreen. They're hiding, it's a smokescreen in the way of their true objection. So by following this, we can then identify what that true objection is. Okay, so that's step one. Now, what you'll probably find is a lot of people will then go into a partner smokescreen because they'll say, oh, I just need to go and talk to my partner about this. I need to go and, ask my wife. I don't do this unless I actually get permission from my wife. We never make decisions like this without talking to each other first. All of that, right? Very, very common. Still a smokescreen though. 100% always will be a smokescreen. Someone like myself who has a wife, it's something I'd probably use if I felt a bit uncomfortable with making a decision. But I just need to talk to my wife because ultimately I know that it's not easy to overcome, right? So when you get that objection of the partner, I need to go and speak to my wife, what you want to say is, look, okay, cool. So when it does come to your partner, do they actually support you going in and achieving your goal of, 100K a month? And why? Why would they want you to go and achieve this? Because you want to basically adapt and learn the skills you need to finally achieve them, right? So feel free to probe a little deeper here. They may get defense on this, but it's important for you not to get flustered, right? And just a caveat, guys, this is not easy, right? This isn't meant to be easy. This takes a lot of rehearsals, takes a lot of training, right? But once you can crack this, your close rate's going to go up, okay? Because you're then not going to spend an hour trying to pitch somebody and then just get flustered when they say, I need to go speak to my wife, right? So you want to go through this. It's really, really good. So you can then say, look, I'm sure that when it comes to money decisions, you guys have some kind of level of independence here. I'm sure you've bought a coffee or something similar like that the past week. Did you ask permission from your partner to do that? Obviously they didn't, right? And they'll probably say something like, of course not. I don't ask permission to buy a $4 coffee, but this is a lot of money. Makes sense. So then what you can say is, yeah, and I understand that you want them to be involved in how this moves forward, and I'm not telling you to not involve them. They're going to be so proud of you when you're actually making this jump to get 100K a month, and I don't want to take that away from you. I'm not asking you to climb Mount Everest on this and make a, $10,000 decision without them. But what I am asking you to do is decide that for the sake of your partner, your family, your future, that you're going to figure this out. You're going to get the training and help you need to go and achieve this for you guys. So you're going to decide to level up and go and achieve this for them? Yes or no? Obviously, they're going to say yes because you've done all the work in the previous call. You've done all the done all the cost of an action, the future pacing, North Star. Again, if you don't understand that, there'll be another video on it. But you can still do a lot of this, right? It still makes sense because all you really need is their goal, right? You just need their North Star because it's really important that there's a gap between where they are versus where they want to go. So this really is true to the conversation that you guys already had. So when they say yes to that, you can then say, okay, and with that, can I actually challenge you to take an action to prove to yourself that you're ready to do that and put down a level of commitment, right? That you can make, and then you can go and talk about it. Again, we're not talking about doing 10 grand today, but I'm saying you put $100 down to show to yourself that you're committed to getting your family to this point. And if you talk to your wife, your partner, etc., and they say, wow, I can't believe you're trying to better our life, and I don't actually support you on that, then, you're basically saying of course your wife's going to support this because you're trying to better your future, right? So you just make that glaringly obvious. If you put $100 down today, and then your wife says, I can't believe you tried to improve our life. I can't believe you thought of, bettering your son's future. It's just not going to happen. And they know that. So if that does happen, I'll send every penny back. So you get the $100 back. And I'll even call your wife myself and I'll apologize on your behalf for making you, take the jump. But then you can at least say you had the courage to do that and potentially try and make the change for your family. So prospect name, can I challenge you enough to do that? And they'll say, yeah, you know what, that makes sense. Let's put the $100 down. I'll go, I'll speak to her and we can book a call. Then you have a commitment. You have someone that's going in, taking out their credit card, giving you their details, okay? Giving you their actual credit card details, typing it on their keyboard on their phone, whatever. That's a big commitment. Whether it's $1 or $100, doesn't matter the amount. It's just the act of giving you the money, right? And it will also be a massive weight off their shoulders because they'll be like, I'm actually doing this. Then they'll start getting a little bit excited, right? And they'll be excited to have the conversation with their partner because they're like, this is it. This is the ticket out of here. This is the ticket to my dreams, my goals, my freedom, more money, more time, all of that stuff, right? So it works really, really well. Okay. So now the last thing is money. And I'm not giving you guys how to get over everything here, right? There's 101 ways and probably a ton more objections you can handle. But these are the three most common you're going to get on your sales calls, 100, okay? So if you can actually handle these three, your closing rate will go up significantly, I promise. So when it gets to the money, right? So let's say money gets brought up. Now we know for a fact that as an objection, it is the main thing, right? Because it's either fear or logistic. If they give you the kitchen sink and say, oh, I had so much money, I need to speak to my wife, I need to think about it, I need to send me all the information, they're just giving you 100 objections in one go without taking a breath, but money is in there. Money is now the focus, right? Because you can usually just go straight to the money. This is, determining the difference between fear of investing in this. I don't have 10K, but I have 4K, right? We need to overcome this by doubling down on value and confidence of theirs, okay? Now, if you cannot get to this point without the buy-in of, do you think in your opinion this will get you to your goal, /North Star, and tying off partner objection. So what I mean by that is you can't get to this point unless they've already told you, I believe this will get me to my goal. And also tying off the whole partner problem in the previous one, right? Like that has to come first, okay? So you can get to that and say, look, let's say they throw you the kitchen sink, they say us all these things, say, look, no problem. So can I ask, if you had the 10K in your hand right now, would you do it? And then immediately ask them why. Or you can say, well, what they might say is, look, I have the money, it's just I need to make sure it's the right time or whatever. Okay, so when you go and look at over your situation, is it the case of you just don't have the 10K liquid right now? Because that's just how we move into payment plan. So what we're saying is, look, we know it's a lot of money, but I'm just trying to get the idea of, is it that you have the money right now and you're not too sure if you want to invest it with us, meaning it's a product/service problem, or they just don't have the money, but they still want to do the thing, right? Because if they say, like, I have 3K to put down right now, then we can work out a payment plan for them, right? But if they say, look, I have the money, but I don't know I want to do it here, then it's a product/service problem. If it's a time problem, whether like, I want to do this, I have the money, I just need a week, then it's a logistic problem. We can still ask them to put down a deposit like we did in the partner objection and then give them a week, right? The whole point of this whole thing is to get a commitment, whether it's $100 down, a paid in full, a payment plan. It's just about getting them to step forward in the right direction towards working with, right? That's the whole purpose of a closer and actually selling. So then you can jot down and be like, look, okay, cool. So you don't have 10K right now. That's completely fine. Well, how about if we break it down into monthly or more manageable monthly payments? Would that help you move forward today? And they'd be like, yeah, what can you do? Because they're thinking, okay, I want to do this. 10K is a lot, but if they're going to do it for 2.5K times 4 for 4 months, that makes sense for me. So then you need to get to that. So like, okay, cool. What makes sense for you to put down today? Or can you do 1, 2, 3, 4? You'll have payment plans ready. So you'd be like, okay, look, it's 10K, but what we can do is 4K times 3 months to allow you in on a lower upfront fee, but you still get access to everything. And they're like, okay, cool, I can probably do that, 1, 2, 3. Or you could do 5K times 2, you could do 6K times 2. Like, I don't want to be the decider on that, but like, you want to basically incentivize people to pay in full. So if your pay in full is 10K, the payment plan, in my opinion, should be more expensive, because you want to incentivize people to pay up front, and because then cash is king for your business, and you can then front load and actually scale quicker. So just to recap on the money. So what do we know? If it's a money objection, we know it's either fear or logistics. So fear being they're scared, that they're not going to see any results. They're scared of being burnt in the past. Logistics meaning it's not a good time right now, or they don't have the pay in full, but they could do a payment plan. Like, that's essentially in a really short summary what that means, right? So all we're trying to do is determine on how much they actually have to invest, right? Because what we believe now is that they actually believe in what we do, and it's logistical. The problem is they need to just help either with the timing or the financial setup, meaning payment plans or deposit, to actually get started. Because if you go through this and they're like, look, I just still need to think about it, then it's probably something else now. Like, they're actually thinking, like, actually, I don't actually want to do this. So like, I don't actually believe in your service. That's fine. That might come up. But if you follow these 3 objections, I mean, you can literally, I'll put this document in the link below. If you literally copy this and just practice this, I promise you're not going to be perfect, of course. Like, no one is. We will make mistakes. But the more you rehearse this, the more you role play this, the more you practice and just literally get better at it, and just try and understand it as much as possible, the better you're going to be actually handling it on the call, right? Because then it becomes a game. So let's imagine now you have this sheet in front of you on a sales call, and then you hear, I need to think about it. It's like a light bulb in your head. You're like, I've got this. Like, before I would be like the dread of hearing those words, and now it's like, I know exactly what to do. Like, you're almost excited. You're like, yes, bring it on. Because you know exactly what you're going to say. You know exactly what they're going to say. You know exactly how to handle their responses and their answers to each of your questions, to ultimately get closer to them, giving you a deposit, paying a payment plan, or paying in full, right? So that's what we're trying to do here, is get a commitment on the call, whether it's $100 down today and then next week we're going to come back on and pay the rest. It's a payment plan or it's paying full. That's all we care about, right? Because we're just trying to get them a step closer to their goals, because we're trying to help them based on their situation. Not everyone's going to be able to afford a payment in full. Not everyone's going to be able to afford a payment plan today, but most people will have $100 in their bank account to put down to step towards the right direction, okay? So rewatch this video, have this document, use it, leverage it, close more deals. I hope you scale. I hope you make a ton of profit and a ton of revenue for your business, and you help a ton of people. And if you ever need any more help, you can always book a time to speak with our team. Again, what we do is pretty cool. We build the system, we help you build the sales team, and you pay us pay per close. Okay, so if you want to see about how our offer works, I'll also put a link in the description for that. There's a little 3-minute video on how that works, and then you can decide to book a call and actually speak with us, and we'll show you exactly how everything works. If you like it, you can apply to work with us. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. But whatever you learn in that in that call, you can take away and apply for yourself, right? Like what you might be doing right now with these objections. You'll learn something that will take you a step closer regardless. My goal is to help as many of you possible to actually just remove yourself from the nitty gritty of client acquisition, because I spent 3-4 years doing that myself and I hated it. And now I get to go on a 5-week vacation to Australia with my 2 kids and my beautiful wife. And it's amazing. But that's only because I have an automated system and an actual team in place to remove myself from that process. So if you want the same thing and you want to change the way that you view your working life and you want to make more money whilst working less, we can help you do that. And I look forward to working with you in the future. If not, subscribe. I'm here to help you regardless. Have a wonderful day.